On May 3, 2007, a quiet evening in the Portuguese resort town of Praia da Luz turned into one of the most infamous and heartbreaking mysteries in modern history. 3-year-old Maddie McCann vanished from her family's holiday apartment while her parents dined nearby, sparking an international search that continues to this day. Today, we'll delve into the ongoing mystery of Maddie McCann's disappearance, examining the events of that tragic night, the extensive investigation, and the theories that have emerged over all these years. Maddie McCann and her family were on vacation at the Ocean Club Resort in Praia da Luz, Portugal. The McCanns, Jerry and Kate, and their 3 children, Madeline and her younger twin siblings, were enjoying a relaxing getaway with a group of friends. Each evening, the adults dined at a nearby tapas restaurant, taking turns to check on their children who were asleep in the apartments. Maddie McCann was a bright, playful 3-year-old with distinctive features, including her signature blonde hair and a rare coloboma in her right eye, a detail that became crucial in public awareness campaigns. She was described as curious and full of energy, making her sudden disappearance all the more devastating. Praia da Luz was a peaceful resort town, popular with British tourists for its sunny beaches and family-friendly environment. It was a place where the McCanns and many other families felt safe, a perception that would be shattered by Maddie's disappearance. At around 8:30 p.m., Jerry and Kate McCann left their apartment to have dinner with their friends at the resort's nearby tapas restaurant, located about 150 feet away. As part of a routine, the parents took turns checking on their children every 20 to 30 minutes. When Kate McCann went to check on Maddie and the twins around 10 p.m., she found the apartment's front door and window open and Maddie missing from her bed. Panic set in immediately. The McCanns and their friends began a frantic search of the resort, and the local police were quickly alerted. Within hours, authorities launched an investigation, fearing that Maddie had been abducted. Despite an immediate response, no trace of the little girl could be found. That night, there were a few key sightings that would shape the early investigation. Around 9:15 p.m., a friend of the McCanns, Jane Tanner, reported seeing a man carrying a child near the McCanns' apartment. This sighting became the focus of early police sketches and media reports, though the identity of the man remains a mystery to this day. The initial investigation by the Portuguese police, particularly the Polícia Judiciária (PJ), faced heavy scrutiny. While local authorities launched a search and made public appeals for information, their handling of the crime scene was later criticized for failing to secure the area properly and for delays in notifying border authorities. Over time, tensions grew between the McCanns and the police, which would eventually lead to significant controversy. In 2011, the Metropolitan Police Service, Scotland Yard in the UK, launched Operation Grange, a review of the Portuguese investigation. British authorities hoped to bring new perspectives to the case, employing advanced forensic techniques and pursuing lines of inquiry that had been previously overlooked. This marked a major turning point as Scotland Yard investigators combed through thousands of leads in search of fresh evidence. One of the greatest challenges in the investigation has been the sheer volume of information. Hundreds of potential sightings of Maddie have been reported across the globe, from Europe to North Africa and beyond. These sightings, while creating hope, also complicated the investigation by pulling resources in multiple directions with no definitive results. Over the years, multiple suspects have been identified and cleared. In the early days of the investigation, Robert Murat, a British-Portuguese expat living near the resort, was named a suspect, but no evidence tied him to the case. In 2020, German prosecutors named Christian Bruckner, a convicted sex offender, as a prime suspect after he was linked to the area on the night of the disappearance. However, no charges have been filed as of now. One of the leading theories is that Maddie was abducted from her apartment. Supporters of this theory argue that the window and door being opened, combined with Tanner's sighting of a man carrying a child, points to a kidnapping. Some believe Maddie may have been taken by a stranger for human trafficking, potentially whisked out of the country before the authorities could act. Another theory posits that Madeline was the victim of a burglary gone wrong. Local reports indicated an increase in break-ins at the time, and it's possible that Madeline woke up during the robbery and was taken or harmed to prevent her from raising the alarm. However, this theory has gained less traction due to the lack of signs of forced entry. Perhaps the most controversial theory is that the McCanns themselves were involved in their daughter's disappearance. Portuguese police briefly named Jerry and Kate McCann as official suspects, or arguidos, in 2007, suggesting that Madeline may have died in the apartment and that her parents covered up the death. This theory sparked a media firestorm, but the McCanns were officially cleared in 2008. To this day, they vehemently deny any involvement and continue to search for their daughter. In June 2020, a German prosecutor announced that they had a new prime suspect, Christian Bruckner, a man with a history of sexual offences. He had been living in the Algarve region at the time of Madeline's disappearance, and phone records placed him near Praia da Luz that night. German authorities believe Madeline is dead, though Bruckner has not been charged in relation to her case, and the investigation continues. Madeline's disappearance remains one of the most high-profile missing person cases in the world. Despite years of investigation and countless theories, the case is still unsolved. However, public interest remains strong, with documentaries, podcasts, and investigative reports keeping the case in the spotlight. Her parents, Jerry and Kate McCann, continue to advocate for answers, refusing to give up hope. The disappearance of Madeleine McCann is one of the most heartbreaking and baffling mysteries of our time. Despite years of investigation and the dedication of countless law enforcement agencies, the question of what happened to Madeline on that fateful night in 2007 remains unanswered. The case has sparked endless speculation, and the search for justice continues. What are your thoughts on the disappearance of Madeline McCann? Do you think the recent developments will lead to a breakthrough? Share your insights and theories in the comments below. If you found this deep dive into one of the most enduring mysteries of our time fascinating, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to stay updated on our latest true crime investigations. Join us next time as we delve into the chilling story of Jack the Ripper, the infamous Victorian slasher who terrorized London in the late 1800s and whose identity remains one of the greatest unsolved mysteries in history.